Hello, everybody. Welcome into Atomic Geekdom. As you can see, my name is Dave. It's really right here. You can't miss it. And joining me, as per always,
it's Kyle. Hi.
I didn't realize I had to say your name. I figured you could take it.
Well, I mean, you're the host. You're welcoming me in. So yeah.
I'm gonna have to move my camera because I can't find a good spot to put where I can see our broadcast, where I can produce and not look like I'm looking away from the camera. So I got to put my camera over here somehow. I'll figure it out this weekend before the next time we broadcast.
Yeah. Oh wow, I can full screen this.
Well, yeah, I can too, but I can't do any sort of
Funky
producing.
edits.
Yeah, I have to be able to see the side bar here.
Yeah.
So yeah, as the ticker says on the bottom there, we're doing a Titans season 3 episodes 1 through 3 discussion. HBO Max dropped the first 3 episodes Thursday morning. If you stayed up late like I did at 2 a.m. Central Time, they were ready to go. I watched one episode and then I watched the rest of them the following day, one in the morning and then one when I got off work. And I will just say this: Kyle knows because I told him. I predicted it. I called it. I knew it. Although it did surprise me how it happened.
Yeah.
The way it's gonna take a toll on this team for the rest of the season. We'll talk about it. But
again.
Right. But per the usual, like last week in our season premiere, there are spoilers ahead. We're going to be talking about everything that happened. If you have not watched it, you might want to pause, come back, or since it's live, plug your ears. Or if you don't care, that's fine. So again, this is Titans season 3, episodes 1 through 3, or 1, 2, and 3, if you want to go that way. Aptly named Barbara Gordon, Red Hood, Hank and Dove.
Mm-hmm.
Next week we get the episode called Blackfire, which we're gonna delve deeper into some more Starfire lore, some Corey stuff. So that should be interesting to see, especially how we're reeling from what happened this past Thursday.
Yeah.
And we'll get into all of that. But before season 1 and 2, I know you and I both like it. They have had their issues.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it goes to, I think, rewrites and restructuring of what DC's plans were, whether it was the TV universe or the movie universe. They did some conjiggering while they were in production. So I think a lot of things got changed at the last minute. It did seem a bit unorganized at times, the storyline for the first season. And it kind of bled into season 2, but I think season 2, they kind of found their stride. And they got to the storytelling that they wanted to tell, the way they wanted to tell stories, basically. And I think they have a better, clearer picture of what's going on for season 3. I think they have a good roadmap. They learned from their mistakes, and from mistakes from other shows like Swamp Thing. And yeah, so I think they have the confidence of HBO Max and DC. But I mean, it's still going, the show. So the show that started blowing minds with Robin saying F Batman. So what were your thoughts on season 1 and 2?
I mean, there were definitely episodes I loved. I liked the character developments of Rachel and Gar, and then when we got to the Doom Patrol episode, I really loved that. But season 2 definitely got better, but it wasn't. I personally, I went back to the Nightwing episode of season 2, and I really enjoyed that episode the best out of season 2. But again, that's just me. But I really enjoyed Deathstroke as a villain for the Titans, and that actor I can't remember his name. I know he was on Jericho. He's in a bunch of other things, but he did a great Slade Wilson, and having Jericho and Ravager on in season 2 was great. Are we going to get
that was Isai Morales?
Thank you. Are we going to get an explanation as to where Ravager is? I hope so. Along with Jericho.
I was going to say Ravager with Jericho.
Yeah, I hope so. So season 2, season 1, but season 3 so far has exceeded expectations.
Off to a good start.
Season 3 is definitely the best seasons so far.
Yeah, 3 really good episodes. Where I did not want to stop watching. So let's just dig right into it. The first episode is called Barbara Gordon. We're getting introduced to a world where I don't think we've known this, but Commissioner Gordon is dead. He is no longer alive, and taking his place is a paralyzed from the waist down Barbara Gordon, who is also an amputee. The actress herself is an amputee. I want to say her right leg. I can't remember.
I think so, yes.
For the longest time, I just kept watching, thinking, "Oh, well, she's just got her legs crossed, and I can only see one leg." But no,
I thought that too, and then I saw it.
Yeah. So her name is Savannah Rose Welch. She's a podcaster. Well, congratulations.
She's also a singer.
Yes, she's a singer, actress. Plays the guitar and the mandolin.
Wow.
She has a son named Charlie. I don't know why I'm talking about this. It's no one's business but her own. But she got an injury in 2016. So she's fairly new to this amputation. Right leg beyond repair, resulting in amputation. So she wants this character to kind of be a representation for people that have this impairity, that that you can still go on and be an actor. So which is cool. You don't see that kind of stuff. Rarely did you see like a mute or deaf actress, and there was one that was on Jericho that we just talked about, and she also was on Supernatural for a while. So Barbara Gordon joins the show. Also joining the show this year is Vincent Carthizer, plays Dr. Jonathan Crane, aka Scarecrow. I know him. My first introduction to this actor was from Angel. He plays Angel's son Connor in season 3 through the rest of them, I believe. I think it's season 3. I hated him, not the actor, the character. The actor is very good. He's been in other stuff. He's been in some movies I've enjoyed. But my favorite movie, I think, that he's been in, let's see. I'm trying to think of the name without looking. He's Mad Men is what people probably know him most from. He plays Pete Campbell on Mad Men. And he was on that show, I think, the whole run of that show, which is, I've never finished it, but it's very famous. And he's married to Alexis Bledel from, I think, Gilmore Girls. She is one of the Gilmore Girls.
Also, Jonathan Crane is a drug addict.
No, he's a pothead.
Okay.
He's a stoner. He's a stoner. Yeah. Alpha Dog. He's in Alpha Dog, which I love that movie. And he was in Time with his boy Jay Timberlake, who was also in Alpha Dog. But yeah, he's an award-winning actor, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
I could be wrong. Yes, he won some SAG awards.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's going to be playing Scarecrow, a different version of Scarecrow than we've ever seen, a younger version. I mean, he's my age, but I think that's maybe not younger than, I guess. He's my age. So he's older than the Titans. But I think there's going to be, I hope they touch on my favorite thing about, I'm going all over the place here. My favorite thing about Robin was the Batman, the animated series episode with Scarecrow and Robin trying to be his own hero. And Scarecrow keeps playing with Robin and this fear toxin, and Robin's got this fear of heights, I guess, even though he's an acrobat. Yes. There's a football game involved, and this toxin that's going to hit the stadium. So I feel like there's always been a connection since that episode. I've always thought there was a connection between Scarecrow and Robin, as far as like they're kind of arch enemies. Like Batman has the Joker, but Robin on a smaller level has Scarecrow, just on a smaller level. It's still Batman's villain, of course. Don't get me wrong. But I hope they kind of play on that here, where maybe there is a past between these two when he was a Robin. And he's kind of messed with Dick's mind a lot, and but it didn't seem like he was too hesitant to go meet him and work with him, other than the fact that he's a lunatic.
Yeah, I mean they could also do like an homage to the Batman, the new animated series, or the new Adventures, where like Batman's on the run because Batgirl died, but it's all fear toxin based. Do you remember that episode?
I don't think I watched that.
Oh, it's season 4. It's where the
Of the
animation
new,
it's where the animation style changed to fit with Superman the animated series.
is that when they made like Catwoman like eyeless, like white eyed,
Yeah,
and Joker too?
yeah.
Okay, so it's okay. It's the new. It was the New Adventures of Batman and Robin, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That wasn't Dick Grayson though. Wasn't.
That was well. It was. It was. Dick as Nightwing.
Yeah.
Tim as Jason.
They
Todd
skipped right.
Tim.
Yeah, they skipped right over Jason Todd pretty much.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up the.
Yeah, look it up. I'll watch it later. I stopped watching it when they changed the animation, I think, and then I would just catch it here and then after school.
Mm-hmm.
But back to season 3, we just have returning cast member. Oh, I should talk. Tim Drake does join the cast, played by Jay Lacurgo as a recurring character. Also Jack and Janet Drake, his parents. Lady Vic, we're gonna see eventually. We saw Gizmo already, right?
Yeah,
the villain Gizmo.
When I first saw him, I'm like, this guy looks very familiar. Where do I? Yeah. And then it's like Gizmo, and I'm like, Teen Titans.
It felt like a Teen Titans episode. The beginning of that, like right away, we start with them taking down a bad guy, and then we deal with everything else after.
Mm-hmm.
It very much felt like a Teen Titans episode, even the little Teen Titans go-ish a little bit. Not as farcical.
No.
I do like. So let's talk a little bit about the episode. I do like the budding friendship of Gar and Connor.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something I've really ever picked on in the cartoons or the comics. And
no, because we're always used to Tim.
Right. And Garfield being more of a, he's the comic relief of the cartoons,
mm-hmm.
but at the same time, he's got an ego. He's very confident. And especially in the Young Justice version, he wants attention until he gets older. And then, wow. It's a great arc for Garfield in the Young Justice series, by the way. From start to finish, great arc. The character goes on a ride. Let's just put it that way. And then this one, they had to fight each other in season 2. Spoilers. They were kind of brainwashed to fighting each other, Garfield and Connor, and now they're buddies. I think that's pretty cool how that's kind of flipped.
Mm-hmm.
And they seem pretty tight together so far. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure we're going to touch on that drama a little bit eventually, with some maybe mistrust or something. But it seems like so far, especially with the last episode, they trust each other pretty well, and see each other as brothers pretty much. So returning characters. We got Dick Grayson. We talked about this last week, I think. Corey Anders, Starfire, Gar Logan, who plays Beast Boy. Never called Beast Boy yet. He's just Gar Logan. Then we're going a little realistic here,
mm-hmm.
Where he doesn't have a code name yet. Right.
But he did turn green.
And
he
was
green for a second.
Yes, and he is researching how to change into other animals based on Rachel's telling him he can, kind of encouraging him to. So he's been researching and watching stuff. And when I saw him watching a shark video, I'm like, yes, turn into a shark. It's going to be great. We got Jason Todd, who was a Robin in season 2. He's returning this season. And then we've got Connor, who I think might have been called Superboy as a joke, but never hasn't taken the code name yet or an alter ego name yet.
He might not classify himself as Superboy, but I mean, the others do call him that.
He's already in the first 3 episodes shown interest in who Superman is. Does Superman have a cave or something like that? He asked when they go to the Batcave. Hawk and Dove are returning, and then we haven't seen her in this season yet so far. But Rachel Roth is also back as Raven, who also is not called Raven yet. I don't think at all.
No.
But from the trailers, we see she's training on Themyscira, and from Garfield talking exposition, we know she's also trying to find a way to bring Donna back to life because that's a thing, as Garfield said.
Yeah.
So the first episode's called Barbara Gordon. everybody's coming to Gotham. And why are they coming to Gotham? Well, it's pretty simple, as you're going to see in the clip here, with no audio because we don't want to get in trouble. Robin takes it upon himself as Batman is coming back from a trip. I don't remember where he was.
They never said.
Oh, they didn't? Okay.
No.
He's coming back from a trip, and Robin has tracked the Joker based on all kinds of triangulations and technology and cool stuff. He's figured it out, he thinks, and he's had enough. He wants to put an end to it. He's going to catch him because he's going to get there before the cops are. But as you can see in the video that's playing, he's very afraid. He's out of his depth, and I think he realizes it just a minute too late.
Mm-hmm.
He should not have gone alone, and it's over. That's it for Jason Todd as Robin. And right here, he knows it. Great acting by the person playing the Joker with just the movements and stuff. It's just a very cool look, albeit rather graphic. Hitting him over and over with a crowbar at a theme park.
It's a very great homage to A Death in the Family, and I liked how they switched the origin of Red Hood Jason Todd to be in the carnival and not have an explosion too at the end.
Yeah.
But what I am sad about is that they didn't give us a choice to see if he lived or died.
Yes, viewers were not allowed to call in. You were not allowed to call in to find out if he lives or dies. Yes, sorry, Kyle.
Darn it.
We don't get to vote if Jason Todd lives or dies. Like it matters because he lived anyways in the comics.
I know.
And continues to live. So your vote was wasted, but it is a monumental comic book moment in which the readers got to decide the fate of a major character. We get some exposition here. After that, we get the fight with Gizmo, and we get a little exposition with Starfire, who's got a therapist friend in Vegas or something.
I didn't remember that at all from season 1.
I don't remember it either, but we're calling back to it as maybe a potential love interest or somehow a connection to somebody, I think, for Blackfire to play with her with, I think, to mess with her head or something like that, because I think there's still a Corey Nightwing thing going on, albeit it's taken a step back. Obviously, right now we're dealing with Batgirl, or we're dealing with Barbara and Dick's history. But here's the introduction of my friend's favorite character to be introduced this season. Go ahead. Who is it?
It's Tim Drake.
And he's reading the paper, angry about why they're asking why is he a bat.
Yeah.
So yeah, he what explain who he is in the comic books and now what they've done with him in the show.
Tim Drake is the third Robin to Batman.
Right.
He became Robin because he found out who both Batman and then at the time Jason, who they were.
Was it Jason? I thought it was Dick.
Yeah, either or. I think it might have been Dick. But I mean Jason at the time, because there was no Robin then.
Right.
He became Robin, I think it was actually the year I was born. It was 1989. So that's why Tim is my Robin.
All right, fair enough.
He then goes on to join the Titans. He also dons the other superhero name Red Robin, and the Red Robin suit pre New 52 is great. The Red Robin suit New 52 sucks. and then they come back, and then he just has a RR. But it's the Robin suit, and then he's Red Robin. Whatever. But anywho,
that's the post We Are Robin stuff, right?
That's post. What's it? Rebirth.
Okay.
But in this version of Tim Drake, he is. I'm gonna get this. He's African American.
And Hispanic.
Is it Hispanic or is it Chinese?
I thought it was Hispanic, but maybe it's Chinese.
Because
I skipped over it, but hang on, let me go back.
yeah, because he was definitely not speaking Spanish on the phone.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He was not when he was talking to his parents over the phone.
Mm-hmm. So, which is a departure from the comics, because the character in the comics is a white male.
Yeah, you're right. His mom is, if that's his mom, she's Asian.
Yes.
And his cousin or whatever is, yeah, absolutely Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the character in the comics is a white male. Both father and mother were white. So it's nice to see. It's nice to see a different take on the character.
One of my favorite graphic novels, and I think it's one of yours too. Deals a lot with Tim Drake and how far removed. Well, explain what I'm talking about, and then how far removed do you think that we could be from seeing something like that in this show?
Well, I'm going to answer that with we're going to be very far away from that.
Because right now he's not even Robin for
one.
Right.
If they're not going to do it on the Flash, they're not going to do it on Titans.
Screw the Flash.
So what we're talking about is the storyline Identity Crisis, and in that, spoilers.
It's a great murder mystery book.
Jack Drake, is it Jack? Henry. It's
Jack
Mr.
Drake in the show.
Okay. Is killed by Captain Boomerang. And then Bats is there to or have another orphan at his side. It's a dark comic book, but it's honestly one of the best I've ever read.
Yeah. Ooh, my Darby Allin is on the way.
There you go.
Yeah, a little good news. I've got a Giannis hoodie on the way tomorrow too.
Oh.
Something I wanted to. It's going to look a little goofy because I can't get rid of the things on the screen when I do a freeze frame here. But I wanted to show us a brief glimpse into the Batcave.
Yeah.
Dick
I loved it.
we get some Easter eggs here. And it's kind of, some of them are kind of covered up, but we're gonna go through as many as we can see. I don't know if you've watched any videos or anything from other people that have done. I haven't.
I just watched.
So
I just watched this.
Yeah, you can't see my cursor, but so we have the hologram of the dinosaur, which is a staple of the Batcave. I love the way it's done here. And then the giant penny as well.
Yep.
Is there? We have a giant Joker playing card. So probably Robin's motorcycle there.
Probably.
Going across on the pedestals, the far end, I cannot tell what those are.
I know the closest one to, I think that's Dick. We got the Mad Hatter's hat.
Well, yeah, the bottom row I could tell. Yeah, the Mad Hatter, and then there's a skull, I think.
Yeah, I have no idea where the skull is from.
And then I want to say the next one is Mr. Freeze Rose, maybe a frozen rose.
Probably.
I can't see what. Let's drop back 15 seconds, let it play. And then on the left side, there's like a whole gun cage.
that was weird. Oh, I'm in game mode.
So I don't know if that's like confiscated weapons or if, I don't know. There's a lot of weaponry there. Yeah, so you got Mad Hatter. I don't know what that stuff is. I can't really tell. It would be cool if that was a frozen rose though. We did. Oh, and then there's a umbrella hanging, and then another Joker mask or like a clown mask on the wall. Well, you can see my cursor. Cool. There's a what is obviously a penguin umbrella. So the set designers had some fun, basically. They got
so here it is.
Oh, you found something? Okay,
I found some of it. Penguins, umbrella, Mad Hatter's hat, Joker's card, giant penny, dinosaur, a memorial with Jason's costume,
which is coming up here. We haven't gotten that far.
Oh yeah. The grandfather clock, and I don't know for sure.
The code was midnight. It wasn't
the time of
Bruce's which I have a not working grandfather clock in my apartment that was left behind, and I have it set for the time Bruce's parents died. It doesn't work, of course, but anyway. Yeah, it's supposed to be the combination to open up the Batcave is the time that his parents died. Okay, so you don't have what the pedestals are?
I'm trying to find it. Let's see. We got Joker card, Mad Hatter, Bane's mask, Harley Quinn's mallet, and more. And
Okay,
great.
so
Thanks for that.
That's the mallet. Is this Bane's mask here?
Maybe.
Does it zoom in when he walks? No, there's a bunch of bats, of course, because it's the Batcave.
Yeah. But
yeah.
It's a small looking Batcave, but I like it.
Well, that's the open area, and then he goes into like the office area.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a very fresh memorial. There's still blood on that costume.
Yeah.
Bruce wasted no time in cleaning and getting things done.
Bruce also wasted no time in into finding.
Yeah, we'll
recruits.
get to that. We'll get to that in a second. So Dick's back in town, obviously for the memorial. He was there for the funeral, but they're not going to have one because it's already done. He's buried him. Bruce has buried him in the Wayne family plot, and he's moved on with his life basically because there's no time. The criminals aren't going to grieve.
Mm-hmm.
So Gotham has no time for that, and so neither does Bruce. And then we're introduced to Barbara. I think rather quickly because Bruce needs a friend or Dick needs a friend. I don't know.
Yeah, things get because Dick invites her back to Wayne Manor, but things get heated very quickly at that. With that,
yeah. So we're at a crime scene. Somebody is wrapping people in cellophane. I don't know if that's like a nod to the Batman the movie because it seems like that's what Riddler's doing in the trailer.
Mm-hmm. I don't think so. I think I have no idea other than Red Hood.
Yeah, unless it's more Red Hood shenanigans, and this is just the beginning. I do love a snowy Gotham, though. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I like a snowy setting, and there she is. There's Barbara. Our first introduction to Barbara on Titans, which is fantastic. I love Batgirl. I love Barbara Gordon. I love the relationship between Barbara and Dick. How strained it is, but how obviously they should be together.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Barbara wasn't recruited, Barbara did this on her own. She saw what her father does. She saw what Bruce did, and she decided she could do it, but she could also do it her way. Even though she went, she often got guidance from Bruce. She was never a sidekick.
Yeah.
She's obviously a key member of the Bat family, but she was never a sidekick to Batman. And in some iterations, she's been a romance object for both Dick and Bruce, but we're going to ignore the ones where it's with Bruce because that's weird.
Yeah. Also, what's weird is that those bodies were outside the police station.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
There's a lot of weird edits in this episode. I think a lot of stuff got cut and reshot and had to be repurposed in different spots. But yeah, so basically in the first episode, we find out that Jason is dead. Bruce brings Barbara and Dick into his house, and Barbara just loses it on Bruce, clearly blaming him for the fact that Mr. Freeze killed her father. And yeah, we just kind of moved on from it and didn't really do anything. They start off really strong with some memories and things like that, and then it's just gone. And then Dick begins his investigation as to what was going on with Jason. Jason inhales something like an asthma inhaler type mask before he goes to the Joker, and his eyes kind of get bigger and light up a little bit. So Dick finds out later that he's dealing with some kind of chemistry drug dealing thing. He's got a warehouse and everything, and so that's where our detective story begins in that aspect. Meanwhile, was it in this episode? Starfire Corey is
yes, it was this episode
having weird reactions, right? Go ahead and explain. I'll let you talk for a little bit.
She is seeing things like doctors pushing her down an aisle in a gurney.
Like she's on a stretcher,
Yeah, she's on a stretcher, and then she wakes up and she's in the middle of the road. Like she had slept walked or something, and she's just out in the middle of San Francisco, not knowing how she got there. So this will most likely have something to do with Blackfire and why she's here.
Yeah. Jumping back to the Batman of it all. Dick is doing some chemistry work at the Bat computer, and something gets notified on the Bat computer, and he starts hacking with some very bad password usage. Jason doesn't work, but Dick does. And it gets him in, and we discover Bruce is looking for a new sidekick in the names of Carrie Kelly, Daxton Chill, come on, keep going, Stephanie Brown, and Duke Thomas.
So I knew 3 of those.
Which 3 did you know?
I knew Carrie Kelly, Stephanie Brown, and the last one, Duke. If I remember, yeah, Duke. The second one, I have no idea who that was. And now I am frozen, I think. Or he is. This is great. Well, if I'm not frozen. So Stephanie Brown is the Robin in the Dark Knight Returns graphic novel. Stephanie Brown was technically a Robin for an issue, but she's also spoiler. Duke is the Signal in DC Rebirth, and I am just going to play along here. Okay. So let's see if I can bring up who.
All right.
Daxton Chill was a part of the We Are Robins collective.
I'm back.
Okay.
Were you here the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure what happened. It's at a low signal somehow, even though I'm not moving.
Oh, that's okay.
Here we are. Just keep talking.
I filled them in on that. Stephanie Brown, spoiler, she became Batgirl, but she was also Robin for a brief second, and then
she dated who?
She dated Tim.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Duke
Thomas. Yeah, I've already talked about Carrie.
Okay.
And yeah, Duke is part of the We Are Robin movement, and he's the Signal. He's like a yellow suit with a giant bat symbol on him. And then Dick, just lashes out at Bruce, being like, it's not even a week after Jason has been in the ground, and you're already looking for someone to replace him. Saying he's a terrible person, that he should have taken his own advice about grieving and everything, and he just lets Bruce have it. And I think we fast forward to Dick asleep with the crowbar dropping on the ground, and Bruce having killed Joker, and him saying, "Be a better Batman."
Yeah, that was after we got our Corey moment. Weird. Yeah. So Bruce Wayne, Batman, has gone to Arkham and killed Joker with the same crowbar Joker used to kill Robin. And so the next episode, they jump right into it. We get right into the Red Hood of it all. If you don't know by now, Red Hood is Jason Todd.
What?
Yeah. There's a fantastic DC animated movie called Under the Red Hood.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch it on HBO Max. I advise you to check it out and compare the audio of when Red Hood throws the duffel bag of heads onto the table to the audio of when Red Hood throws the head of the bag with the heads in it in the cartoon. I swear it's part of that is Jensen Ackles' voice, as he was the voice of Red Hood in the cartoon, and then would go on to be the voice of Batman in the Long Halloween animated movie. And he predicted it all on Supernatural when he said, "I'm Batman." That was one of the best moments. But yes, you talked about Daxton Chill, right? He's part of the We Are Robin as well. Okay. All right, I can close that. I had that open for a while. That's the only one name I didn't recognize when I saw that. But I did perk up in my seat when I saw right away. I was like, Carrie Kelly. Whoop! I got to pay attention here. And then it was Stephanie Brown, and I'm like, oh, whoa. Yeah. So yes, episode 2 is called Red Hood. Yeah, I mean, this is where we get the reveal that there's somebody in Gotham that's just taking out, or I don't know, maybe not taking out, but is a new force in town, basically. A force to be reckoned with. The Red Hood is taking charge. He wears like a red biker helmet, and he's got the red logo on it. It's hard to see, but there's a red bat logo.
It's also a little bit off. So it's
like, kind of crooked, yeah.
It's like this, but reverse or mirrored, which is interesting because the comic book counterpart. It's like this instead of this.
But yeah, the episode opens with him introducing himself, and we get introduced also to what Hawk and Dove have been up to. Hawk in great fashion of Alan Richardson is a great comedic actor. On Blue Mountain State, he's an idiot, but he's so funny, and he gets it. He's done the superhero thing before. He was Aquaman on Smallville. He was supposed to, I believe, be no, I'm wrong about that, because they recast Aquaman for the Aquaman show, and that was going to be
it was going to be Green Arrow.
Right, the guy that played Green Arrow on the guy who played Oliver on Smallville. Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, so no, Alan Richardson, he's a good, funny actor, and he's got this mustache. He's a bike cop in Washington D.C. Basically followed Dove there because Dove moved to Washington D.C. to be their hero. And yeah, he's a bike cop, and it's really funny in the short shorts that he's in. There's some good stuff there. Let me see if I can queue up anything here, just for giggles. Oops, that's not the button I wanted. I forgot. It closed me out, so I got to reshare it.
Yeah, that mustache was something else.
That's what I'm trying to show there. A little action sequence here with his coffee buddy. But yeah, you get to see the reemergence of Dove, and yeah, he's not Hawk anymore. He's just Hank. And you get a good look at the mustache here as he holds his opponent down in a second. We just want to see them. There it is. But yeah, we get to see what they're up to, and then they
wear a mustache.
They get the call to come back to town as the Titans converge on Gotham. And this is kind of their introduction to Gotham, even though I think Dick and Rachel are from Gotham. I want to say.
Yeah.
But he has to explain to them that Gotham breeds a different kind of villain, and Red Hood is using innocent people with hoods, threatening them with bombs and threatening their families to go commit heinous crimes, things of that nature, and that's how he's kind of goading the PD to act and to get Nightwing to do what he wants them to do. He's just manipulating, basically. And then we get another Corey outburst where she's kind of daydream walking, but this time she lights the kitchen on fire as she's doing it, and that gets her to call the therapist friend in one of my favorite dress outfits that she's been wearing yet, and she always gets the best clothes. She's looking good, but yeah, she's seeking help for a friend, and he kind of talks her through it a little bit, but yeah, we're getting closer and closer to what the problem is, and that's going to be Blackfire. Something is latent inside of her from her alien life that is coming forth to the surface. Well, I'm just kind of stalling while I'm waiting for this thing to queue up for me. Because we also get introduced in this episode to the Scarecrow.
Yes.
Episode 2 is when we find out that they go to him for their harder cases for advice. And all he asks for in return is the finest weed that they could get him. A specific strain, of course, but we also get our look at Arkham as well. This is where he stays in Arkham away from everybody. But this scene will show you Vincent Carthizer as our man, Victor Crane. Jonathan Crane, excuse me, who we've seen in the movies. He was in the Batman Begins movie.
He's technically in all 3 of the Nolan trilogy.
Yeah. Not technically, he just is.
Yeah.
I think, is he uncredited in Dark Knight Returns or Rises?
I think he's credited.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
He's a judge, right? He's the judge.
He's the judge, yeah.
Yeah. Great moment. YouTube has just cut us off for live stream notice, even though we're not playing any audio. But so this is your look at him real quick. Let me fast forward so you can see his face. There he is. And then I'll cut it off. So far, so good. You didn't get much of him yet, but so far it looks good. As far as his portrayal of Scarecrow, I assume we're going to see more. We just have to wait and see. I wanted to show the fight sequence at the end of this episode because it's great and you wanted to talk about it, but this is another thrilling episode where we have a time crunch. These people are going to blow up at this bank if Nightwing doesn't bring them gold. No. If it's hard to remember because there's two different time sequences in this episodes. Yeah. Right. These kids are going to die if they don't rob a bank. These people rob a bank or something like that. Then it turns out the parents were also taken hostage and that these were actual villains, gangsters, and it was all a setup, and there's an explosion and innocent people still ended up dying, and it made the cops look rather foolish.
Yeah, but also, I mean, none of the cops died.
No, but innocent people did.
It didn't look like there was any people that died, though. Because
there were hostages inside.
The Titans were very close to that explosion, and they came away unscathed. Well,
yeah, Dick was the closest, and he's got his rubber armor. But yeah, here's the fight sequence, and this is where we get the reveal of who is under the red hood, and it is Jason. And that piece that broke off is not the right size for how much is missing from his helmet. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot more missing.
That puzzle piece does not fit well.
No. But yeah, it's a cool fight sequence. It's Robin versus Robin. One more deranged than the other. And then in episode 3, we jump right into it. How is this possible? We try to figure it out. The origins in the comic book deal with Ra's al Ghul, however you want to say it. No way is wrong, apparently. And his Lazarus pit. Which Ra's feels
is brought up.
Yeah, Ra's feels guilty because he kind of put the Joker in the path of Robin. And so he feels guilty and wants to give him back to the Bat. But it just like we saw on Arrow, it messes with your mind when you're brought back in the Lazarus pit. If you did watch Arrow and saw the many people that were brought back by the Lazarus pit. But that was shot down. That theory is shot down because Ra's al Ghul is not around. He exists in our universe, but he's not around for them to help him. Also, what was the other one they shot down? They brought up another theory.
They did. I don't remember.
Crap. But then right away, it's if they brought him back, can they bring back Donna? And so I thought we were then going to finally get our first look at where Raven's been, but no, we did not. Episode 3 is still void of any Rachel sightings.
Yeah, that would have been the perfect time to do it.
I think so. I think that would have been a good cut. But this episode is kind of dedicated to Hawk and Dove. It's more of a Hawk and Dove episode. It's called Hank and Dove. Hank is not happy that Red Hood is Robin and that he's hurting people, and he wants it done. He says, if this kid gets in my way, it's over. But it wasn't beforehand that you know, there was a nice touching speech between him and Robin, who have been kind of at him and Dick, who have been kind of at odds since they reunited in season 2. They kind of mended fences so they could work together, but at the same time, there's always been a little bit of a rivalry there between the two of them, going back to when there was the 3 of them together, the birds, as it were. And then you had this touching moment where they kind of rekindled their friendship, their brotherhood. And he told Dick to keep his chin up. You're going to get through this. We're gonna figure this out. We always do, as a family. Family was a key thing in these 2 episodes. I almost felt like I was watching Fast and Furious. But Jason uses Hank's anger and lures him out, and we kind of see a softer side of Red Hood. Jason, he needs help. He knows he messed up. All these things. Except he's not stopping. He's not done. He tricks our man Hawk, our man Hank, into coming out. That's not what I wanted. Clicked on our own link. I was trying to make sure we were live on YouTube still. We are, but no, but he gets him to come out. He gets him to strip naked and to make sure he's not wearing a wire or tracker. Swim across the pool, and that's when he knocks him out. When he gets out of the pool, he's able to get an advantage of him, even though I believe Hank could have taken Jason. Hank is huge.
He could have, but I think he was caught off guard. So,
and at the same time, Jason has both Dick training and Bruce training, so I think he might have a strategical advantage to Hank, where Hank just has muscle and aggression. Not that he's dumb. I just think he's headstrong, especially when it comes to his emotions get in the way, kind of the thing. And this leads the team to go and find him. They can't find him anywhere, and he walks into the cave wearing a bomb attached to his heart in a very cool fashion. It's got these fish hooks in it, so that if they try to take it out, there's any tension, boom. All told to them by Connor, who can use his X-ray vision and see things. Connor, this version of Connor is versatile. He's not weighed down like a lot of versions of Superboy Connor I've seen, where he's struggling with the fact that he's a clone. He's struggling with the fact that he doesn't have a mentor in Superman. This one is smarter than most Superboys I've seen. He kind of is acting as the Wally West as far as intelligence.
I would definitely say so. Yeah.
Especially when they needed to build this thing that could deactivate the bomb somehow or trick it. I didn't really understand what they were trying to do or what they were building.
They were trying to deactivate it, but it was they were trying to get it within a 0% chance of failing.
Right, some kind of interference thing or something. And he had to reconstruct it just based off of knowing how they built it, not knowing anything about engineering or anything like that. And so it was kind of cool. He reads a lot, it seems like, and
he's got the same thing like Flash can do, is super speed read and have some of that knowledge, but he might not be able to keep it all.
Right. Yeah, he even says, I can read fast. It doesn't mean I can apply that knowledge. And so for him to build this device it took him a while. He could keep building it, but then he had to keep trying because the percentage of failure was like at 80 and then 60 and, that kind of thing. So it's a race against time. Jason Todd, Red Hood want them to steal a truck full of gold bars, which obviously it has nothing to do with the money, because he could easily just tell Dick to wire him money and there'd be no problem. It has nothing to do with money. It just has to do with control. Dick's not going to buy into it. He wants to try to stop him. Dove is done waiting. Dove finally goes and just decided, she's going to take care of it. So she robs the truck. And we get to see some cool fighting with her wings as armor and stuff like that. It's a very cool moment. And then we get the showdown between they go through the cameras and they find out who took the body of Jason from the morgue. And they use that to figure out where he might be hiding, because this guy must be clearly working with him or something. But it was all just part of Jason's plan. He throws that body onto Dick's car. I've got cat interference. And so Dick has to run and find out where they are very quickly. And he does. And it leads to a confrontation between Dove and Dick and Jason. Jason is telling Dove that if you want me to get rid of this trigger, which I have in my hand, you have to kill me, and then you'll save Hank. Son of a cat. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so both Dick and Dawn start fighting over the gun, because they think it's just a normal gun. And once it gets down to the wire, Connor is able to get to 0% failure rate, which is good. He speeds away, but at that exact same moment, with 5 heartbeats left, Dawn pulls the trigger on the gun, and that just happens to be the trigger for the bomb. It wasn't the one in Jason's hand, it was the one in Dawn's hand. And she effectively killed Hank with a giant explosion in Wayne Manor that no one is going to be able to repair, because Alfred is dead too. We didn't even mention that. Alfred is dead. And Connor is there right at that exact moment, and he sees the explosion happen and not able to do anything. And the episode ends with Dick and Dawn on the ground, consoling each other.
Knowing what has happened. Insane.
That is 3 original members of the Titans deceased.
Yeah, and in episode 1, Corey's like, I'm done saying goodbye to my friends. Yeah, no, you're not.
Nope.
No, because not only has Jason died now, so is Hank. Yeah, like I said, I hadn't watched the episode. I just felt, knowing what I know about dramatic television and the way they set things up, thanks to Joss Whedon and the many dramas he's done and the way he's broken many hearts before he's become a monster, or while he was being a monster, before we found out he was a monster. Gut-wrenching ending to this 3 episodes. Would you decide if you want to be up here or not?
When that moment happened, I literally yelled, "Holy shit!" And my girlfriend woke up because she works night shift. So she's like, "What happened?" And I go, "Nothing. Just go back to sleep."
Nighttime.
I'll tell you later.
Dude. I had just finished episode 2 when I messaged you saying, telling you and Tom that I enjoyed it so far, and I have my theories, and I believe that one of these 2 people are going to die, and I was leaning towards Hawk. And then you said you haven't watched it yet, and I said no, and I'm like, okay, he thinks he thinks I watched it and I'm lying, or like for real, like, well, I was right. One of these 2 is dying.
Yeah.
Your reaction kind of made me lean towards Dove, even though my gut was towards Hawk. It's going to be nuts. How is she going to deal?
Oh, she's not going to. She's not going to be able to. I think.
I don't think the death toll is done yet.
No. But I also don't think she's going to die. So
no.
So we'll safeguard that.
No, it's going to be interesting. Is it going to lead her to kill? Is something?
Probably.
Like his henchmen.
Probably.
She's not going to hold back against Jason. That's for sure.
No, I'm trying to think of what happened. Like, something happens in the comics that I know both Hank and Dawn both die, and they come back in Blackest Night, Brightest Day. But I don't remember
as Black Lantern zombies.
Yeah. Actually, no, wait. Dove doesn't, because she's part of the White Light in Resurrection, so she's fine. It's Hawk. Hawk dies, but I don't remember how.
Help me.
But also Hawk was a completely different character that they screwed over with, but that's a different story.
That's another thing. If you have not watched the first 2 seasons, watch the Hawk and Dove origin episode, because holy crap.
Those are great episodes.
Oh, I'm telling you, Jenny, another co-host of Atomic Eaton, was asking if she would like this show. And I think she would, because it's not about being a superhero. Yeah, you get the cool stuff where they're in their costumes and these cool Easter eggs that we all know and love from the comics and the cartoons and everything like that. But at the same time, there's real stories being told here in the real world, like very thematical things that are being dealt with. And whether or not you like the portrayal of this Dick Grayson or this Garfield or whatever it is beside the fact. There's good stories being told here, just with the veil of it being a comic book genre.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, we're excited. The next episode is Blackfire. Why did you knock over K2SO? He ain't done nothing wrong to you.
Oh no.
He's back up and ready to kill. You're on my keyboard. I don't have an off switch for my keyboard. You have to go down here for now. I'll play with you later. I'm talking to the kitten. Sorry. So yeah, we're excited for Blackfire. That's next week. I don't think we'll be talking about Titans next week, but maybe we'll just jump in real quick and say if we liked it or not, or that kind of thing. We won't do a whole episode dedicated to Titans. We're not a Titans post show. But since 3 episodes came out and we enjoyed them and some big things happened, we wanted to talk about them real quick. I think it was a good use of an hour. Whether or not licensing has allowed us to keep these posts up, we'll see. I played no audio from those videos. I played less than 5 minutes from each of them. So, I mean, you're not getting free content. So, whatever. I don't see how it's any different than us talking about what happened, to be perfectly honest. It's not like I played licensed music. Oh, no.
No, you don't.
Real fast, your thoughts on Marvel's What If? We got 1 episode.
Interesting start. The animation is going to take some getting used to. But it's a decent story. I'm interested to see where they go from here with the other stories that they have laid out. I don't know how many episodes they have planned for the first season, but I know they're getting a season 2.
Are they?
At least that's what I've heard through the grapevine.
Oh, I mean, I don't doubt it.
Yeah. But I do have a quick question. Do you think it's weird that she was called Captain Carter and not Captain Britain?
A little bit.
Okay.
But I also think it rings better.
It does. But I mean, I would have also liked to see, okay, I mean, we got Captain America. We didn't get Captain Rogers. We got Captain America.
But he was still called Captain Rogers, but to the world, he's known as Captain America.
Right. I personally think it would have been nice to have that Captain Britain, because there is that character of Captain Britain in the Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
So but that's just me.
So all the theories now are that we're gonna see Uatu the Watcher in the MCU eventually, and that the fact that he says he's always observing and never interfering is an indicator that he's going to interfere, because he does in the comic books. He's like a beacon to show people when something horrible is about to happen. I guess
the one of the major ones is Civil War. He just appears inside of the Baxter building right when they're talking about the Registration Act.
Mm-hmm. And also before Galactus appears.
Yes.
Even though Silver Surfer is supposed to be the pretense to Galactus, he was there first too.
And this is not the first time we've seen the Watchers. We saw him in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
In a credit scene, right? Or no. It's like a blink and you'll miss it type of thing with Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Well, Stan Lee, technically, the theory is he's a Watcher in all of the movies. That's what he's doing. He's explaining his mission to these guys. So real quickly, first episode dealt with what if What if Captain Carter were the first Avenger? Cool moments. I thought it was pretty fun all along.
Mm-hmm.
The
There
way
was some cool, there's some cool callbacks to like the future, like Bucky being like, "Oh, you could have pulled my arm off."
You're right.
Aha!
And then Steve actually dying on the train. I thought maybe they were going to do something where he came back as the Winter Soldier somehow.
Yeah.
And it was kind of leading that way too because they had him there, but they saved him. But he still ends up dying. Well, we don't know what happens to him really. He ages himself, right? He gets older while Captain Carter jumps into the portal, and then 70 years later, boom, here we are. She's emerging and meets Nick Fury and Clint Barton to begin the Avengers. So yeah, that's the first episode. I don't know what the second episode is yet. I don't know if you know or not, but really quickly, I'm going to go through every member that are slated to appear. Are you ready for this?
Every actor?
Yes.
Okay.
So these are the guest stars that we've had so far. Haley Atwell, Sebastian Stan, Dominic Cooper reprising his role as Howard Stark, Stanley Tucci coming back as Abraham Erskine, which is great. Stanley Tucci's a big actor. To get him to come back just for that was pretty cool.
And it was very small. Very
yeah.
Very small.
Yeah. Toby Jones as Arnim Zola came back as well. And then Bradley Whitford, who is also a very busy guy. Ross Marquand continued his role as the Red Skull. Daryl Hammond from SNL was a Nazi general from the 90s SNL. Josh Keaton was Skinny Steve Rogers and the Hydra Stomper. Sam Jackson, Jeremy Renner. Neil McDonough came back as Dum Dum Duggan. And then here for the rest of the series, season 1 at least, are the guest stars slated to appear. In no specific order. Here we go. Jamie Alexander as Sif, Angela Bassett as Ramonda. That's for Black Panther. Lake Bell as Black Widow. Lake Bell is great, but that is not, of course, Scarlett Johansson because, well, she's suing the company.
No, this was done before.
I know. Paul Bettany as Vision. Leslie Bibb returning as Christine Everhart. Josh Brolin as Thanos. Clancy Brown as Surtur. Don Cheadle as Rhodey. Carrie Coon as Proxima Midnight. Benedict Cumberbatch as Stephen Strange and Doctor Strange Supreme. David Dastmalchian is back as Kurt. Benicio del Toro as the Collector. Kat Dennings as Darcy Lewis. Michael Douglas as Hank Pym. Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan. Karen Gillian as Heist Nebula. Jeff Goldblum as Grand Master. Seth Green as Howard the Duck. Clark Gregg as Phil Coulson. Frank Grillo as Brock Rumlow. Sean Gunn as Kraglin. Danae Guerrera as Okoye, excuse me. Chris Hemsworth as Party Thor. These are what they're credited as. I'm not making this up. Tom Hiddleston as Loki. Jaimin Hansu as Korath the Pursuer. Rachel House as Topaz. Michael B. Jordan as King Killmonger. John Connie as T'Chaka. Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne. Ophelia Lovibond as Corinna. I don't know what that is. Rachel McAdams returning as Christine Palmer. Natalie Portman as Jane Foster. Michael Rooker as Yondu. Paul Rudd as Scott Lang. Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner Hulk. Kurt Russell as Ego. Andy Serkis as Ulysses Klaue. Colby Smulders as Maria Hill. Georges St. Pierre as Georges Batrock. Chris Sullivan as Taserface. Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One. Emily Van Camp as Sharon Carter. Tom Vanna Lawlor as Ebony Maw. Taika Waititi as Korg. Mick Weingart as Tony Stark / Iron Man. Benedict Wong as Wong. Additionally, Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, Peter Parker / Zombie Hunter Spidey, Ultron, Gamora, Drax, Scarlet Witch, Shuri, Pepper Potts, and members of the Dora Milaje are all scheduled to appear by different actors that portrayed them in the films. Woo!
Yeah.
Dude!
It's a lot of people.
Topaz? What?
I don't know who Topaz is.
Oh, man. Proxima Midnight?
But speaking of what if, they scrapped 2 ideas. Can you guess what 2 ideas they scrapped?
Are you talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy one that was turned out to be the plot of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
No. This is brand new.
No, what?
Hydra Cap and...
Oh, that's what I wanted!
And Man Spider.
Whatever. Yes, I wanted Hydra Cap so bad after
After
Endgame.
Endgame being like,
And he's when he whispers Hail Hydra. Oh, I
Yeah.
wanted it so bad. So yeah, let's see. One of the mandates for the series was to explore what if concepts for stories episodes. As such, Bradley and the writers created concepts that would be seen in films, such as Pepper Potts donning the rescue suit, Professor Hulk, and an older Steve Rogers all appeared in Endgame. So that was kind of like the beginning of it. You are not allowed up there. Get down. Thank you. Whew. All right. An episode that happened to be half the planned plot of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was scrapped. Other unused pitches include Spider-Man turning into a real spider, which was deemed too dark and too body horror for Marvel's PG-13 TV-14 rating. A Jurassic Park inspired episode featuring the Avengers as dinosaurs. What? And then we talked about this a little bit. A crossover with Star Wars character Luke Skywalker.
mm-hmm.
Oh man!
How is the man spider too grotesque? I saw that on Fox Kids.
Yeah. That's true. Development of the second season was beginning. Captain Carter became the character the writers wanted to continue to revisit every season to continue her story. Some of the 20 other concepts not chosen for the first season will appear in the second. Noting that since those were initially conceived, the world's changed and the fictional Marvel universe has changed as well, which will offer new ideas to be presented as well. The second season is intended to include characters from Phase 4. Additional unused ideas could appear in a potential third season.
There we go.
So there it is. All right. Yeah, it was fun. It wasn't great. It was fun. I still say DC does animation really well. Not that this was bad, but it's a good start. So only episode 1. I honestly have no idea what episode 2 is going to be about, but it could be about one of the many, probably Tony Stark episode is my guess.
Either that or Star-Lord T'Challa.
Yeah, one of those two. Yeah. But at the same time, yeah, Killmonger is part of the Tony Stark thing, so maybe it's those two it's probably 2 and 3 either way, whichever one's first.
There will be 9 episodes in total.
9 episodes with 1 million different people in it. So there you go. Yep. And they're 30 minutes long. And they're saying that this is all canon and that this is all because of Loki.
I could see that, yeah.
Because of the end of Loki that's what people are saying. The people in charge have said that this is canon. Theorizing people are saying that this is because of Loki, or the events of the end of Loki and the introduction of the multiverse at that point. The official introduction, I should say. Excuse me, I need to eat. Okay. Anything else before we go?
The episode of Batman, the new animated series, is called Over the Edge.
Over the Edge. That's the one.
That's the one during a fight with Scarecrow, Batgirl's ambushed and on a rooftop and falls to her death. I won't give anything else away. But you can find it on HBO Max.
I feel like I've seen it.
It's a very good episode.
Over the Edge. All right. Oh, of course. Written by Paul Dini.
There you go, yeah.
May 23rd, 1998. I was a junior in high school.
I was...
Shoot me now.
4th or 5th grade.
I hate my life. All right. You can find both of us on Twitch, twitch.tv/DJClark21 and twitch.tv/KKrause89. As it says on the screen there. We both do variety streams. We play different games. Right now, I'm involved in role-playing stuff as far as Red Dead Redemption when I can get on the server, which might be better soon because they just added something that the GTA servers have had for a while. They finally introduced it to the Red Dead servers, so make it easier for people to be on.
There you go.
And then I'm also doing GTA role-playing as well. Very, very soon, I'm going to finish Mass Effect. I got to get back into the streaming that. I want to beat that, all 3 of them. Because the story is good, I'm told. So yeah. Kyle, what are you playing right now? I know you haven't been on for a while.
I haven't been on. It's been a rough couple weeks, but
yes, Kyle's been going through a lot. So follow his page. Let's get him quickly to affiliate on Twitch, please. If you're watching this, go to his, just follow it. That's all you gotta do. It costs you nothing.
Nothing. Just hit that follow button.
Is that what you're chasing right now? Is follows?
Well, I also am going to be chasing the streaming days and streaming hours.
Right. But the follows is the harder part.
Followers is the harder part. Yes. So just you don't even have to. After you follow me, you don't even have to watch me. If you do watch me, that's fantastic. But I'm going through Batman Arkham Asylum from 2005, I think.
Is it really that long ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Look at that. You're scrolling on the screen.
Let's see that Batman Arkham Asylum video game was from 2009. 2009. I was 4 years off.
Still 12 years ago.
Yeah, I know. Still a great game. All three of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, please do follow. If you follow, I follow back.
Hey, what a guy. Also, you can find us on our social medias at Atomic Geekdom on all the things. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, or you want to give us a chance, please do follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Atomic Geekdom, youtube.com/Atomic Geekdom. Subscribe on YouTube. You'll be notified whenever we go live. We're going to do other stuff. We're going to play games and stuff like that eventually once we get the hang of this thing. It doesn't take you long. We're going to grow. Of course, the podcast is still available wherever you listen to podcasts. That's where this will end up as an audio version, of course. So there's no video issues, apparently. So do us a favor, like and subscribe. Hit us up on all the social medias. Join us when we start doing these weekly. Of course, we've done 2 in a row. Who knows if we'll be back next week, but we're officially relaunching the website, relaunching the podcast. We want you guys to be a part of it. So join the conversations, hit us up live. You can join the chat while we're talking. Let us know what you enjoyed, what you think should be added, what we think we should be talking about. How much better of a host Jenny and Tom are than Kyle and myself are. Nobody's going to talk about that, right? I mean, come on, they're not even here. No. They will be here eventually, and we'll all have a grand old time chatting together for the first time. We have a lot planned, hopefully, for the future, as long as we can all get on the same page. And visit atomicgeekdom.com. We have great articles going up weekly right now. Kyle's writing a piece about some filmmaking he did recently. That'll be up soon. We have a piece coming up about the Scarlett Johansson Disney lawsuit and how that might impact future films. And with this Delta variant going around, it's delayed the Carnage movie, the Venom 2 movie, I should say. What it might do for other movies. We're still going to get, I think, these movies coming to streaming as well as the theater for a little while yet. Except for Shang-Chi. That is going to theaters. That is not going to be available on Disney Plus as far as I'm aware. Right, Kyle?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything otherwise, but that's next week, I think. August. Yeah,
no,
August.
It's in September.
This is okay. So the premiere is next week.
Okay, premiere is next week. Yeah, it doesn't.
So September. Maybe we'll do a Shang-Chi 101. We'll do some research and we'll talk about what to expect from Shang-Chi, we'll figure out how to actually say it. Because I might not be saying it right. Oh, and Jenny was watching as I made the comment. As she comments in the chat, she says, "Whatever, LOL," and you can see it right there on the screen. There she is. That's great. I love that I can show the chats whenever they talk. Thanks for hopping in there, Jenny. I appreciate that. You know I'm joking. We will be back hopefully next week, if not the week after. And we'll kind of vary it up. Hopefully Jenny or Tom can join us next time. The time may change. It might not be Friday nights. So like I say, follow it or subscribe on Twitch and or YouTube or on our Twitter or Facebook. That'll let you know when we're going live. But if you follow or subscribe, you'll get a notification saying, hey, we're live. And then you'll know that we're going live and you can join the show like Jenny did with her smiley face. So we'll see you guys. Say goodbye, Kyle.
Goodbye.
Oh, that was deep, dark, and sultry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Batman.